Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning. This is Dr. Erin, teaching universal law and spiritual truth in the heart of La La Land. We're really just having a conscious conversation. My true passion is understanding our divinity, understanding our spiritual powers, and coming to our own unique individual truth. I truly believe that every single person on this planet lives in alignment with universal law. We get to use our energy for creating, heaven or hell, but that we each have a unique divine expression. And as we understand the law and align with the law and use it in harmony, that we experience more and more of our spiritual powers. And understanding universal law, we understand ourselves, right? Know thyself. So today, the topic is abundance is your birthright. That's the title of the talk today. Abundance is your birthright. So I grew up with not a lot of money. Actually, it was kind of like if they wrote a book, it was similar to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it would say, poor mother's family and rich father's family. So I grew up with my mother. My mom and dad got divorced, and we lived with my mom, and she came from, we had no money, literally no money. I mean, we went to the thrift store for our clothes, and it was a really special occasion if we were able to afford ice cream. So we weren't poverty, but at the same time, we didn't have a lot. Okay, I would consider ourselves poor. My father's side of the family was completely different. They had a lot of money. They were from a lineage of money. And when we'd go visit my grandmother, we would stay at the beach house, right? So it was kind of cool because I got to see both lives. And what was fascinating about it is that there was just a lot more harmony around my grandmother and that house. So I associated love and peace and harmony with money. And hence, I really decided at a core level that I wanted to have money when I grew up. And as I grew up, I didn't have a lot of money. In my 20s, when I had my son, I was waiting tables, and I could not even afford to eat out whatsoever. But I knew there was something in me. I knew that there was abundance. I knew that it was the potential and that it could be done at some level. And as I grew up, I thought, well, where is this dance? Where's the dance between materialism and not hurting Mother Earth, yet having us be abundant? And so that's what I want to talk about today. How do we truly have all the abundance in the world and yet not hurt Mother Nature? And we want it all, right? As Madonna would say, we want it all. I want it all. So hence, there's a book. It's called The Book of Abundance. It's called The Abundance. So it's actually by Diamandis and Steven Kotler. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's called Abundance. And it's interesting because the tagline says, the future is better than you think. And they say that there is a conspiring movement to solve all problems, all Mother Earth problems, all environmental problems, everything. That the Technophilanthropists, as they call it, and the rising billions of people that have abundance are giving back. You can talk about this in Maslow's hierarchy, whatever. There's a place where people get to in their lives where they have an abundance of money and they want to give back. There is an innate good within human beings that want to solve problems and want to align with Mother Earth. It's actually a really natural desire that we have. And so in the book, they document how progress in artificial intelligence, robotics, infinite computing, broadband networks, digital manufacturing, nanomaterials, synthetic biology, and many other exponential growing technologies will enable us to make greater gains in the next 2 decades than we've had in the previous 200 years. Bottom line is that every problem you can ever think of from materialism will be solved. For example, we'll be able to take garbage and we'll be able to use it and, transform it into basically things like carbon and recycled goods, whatever that is. So we will be able to solve all problems with things like desalinization, where we'll be able to take ocean water and make it into pure water, right? We'll be able to make bottles and cans and things for our food that are biodegradable. Like, it's all doable. And so the point I want to make today is a truth, a spiritual axiom, that abundance is your birthright. So all of life is abundant, whether it be living a material world and being able to not hurt the earth, whether it be innovating within your own business and whatever else. There is abundance, and it's just up to the individual, the human being, for us to collaborate and come together and innovate with new inventions. And so I know this is your birthright. This is actually who you are. We get to create things that have never been created before. We get to put elements together that are totally abundant, new inventions. And so on that note, today's universal law is the law of abundance or supply. So this law states, because this is an axiom, a truth, right? The law of abundance. The universe only knows abundance. The entire cosmos is designed with infinite elemental equations with unlimited combination. This law is designed to have you align with absolute abundance. When you invert this law or live in scarcity mentality, you will experience feeling bounded and fearful. But the truth is, you have been endowed with a mind that is immeasurable in its ability to innovate and create possibilities. Even the material realm is lavish. Energy becomes unbounded through the incalculable synthesis of material particles. So what does that mean exactly? That means that, say, for example, I use this example that Thomas Troward used to use with, say, a boat. Steel will not float, but that human beings put it together to where once the mass is great enough in steel, then it will float. That is the human being's innovation. There are only so many elements in this universe, but there's unlimited equations of the elements. And when we put them together, anything and everything is possible. So we may be experiencing global warming, we may be experiencing dirt in our waters, we may be experiencing huge landfills, but the reality is we get to have it all. You get to have all of it. We get to create abundance and materialism and have our spirituality and make a difference and heal Mother Earth, make sure that we have a clean environment. It's all possible. Now we need to implement it. We have to implement it. These inventions, most all inventions they're already in the works. It's just implementing them. So I invite you to purchase from conscious commerce. Purchase from companies that are making a difference in the world, or give back to foundations that are giving and producing things to help this environmental issues that we face today, okay? And so today's daily spiritual practice, because each day we wake up and yay, we get to have a new practice. So I invite you to take time today to go into meditation, allowing yourself to open your mind up to new epiphanies and cognitions. Oftentimes I'll just go into meditation, say there's a problem, something I want to solve, and I will just kind of almost just lay it out like an offering for spirit, my higher self, to come in and just have an epiphany around it. I remember doing this years and years ago in meditation. I would go in kind of with the intention of wanting an answer for something, and then I would just quiet my mind and I would just allow the silence, and then I would just come out kind of knowing. I would know what the answer was to whatever it was that I was struggling with. So I invite you to go into that silence today and to begin to allow yourself to open your mind up to new epiphanies and cognitions, okay? And then today's challenge, because it's a game of life, is to do something you've never done today. Maybe it's going to, driving to your work and taking a completely different route. Maybe it is going to see a performance that you would never go see. Maybe it's, I have no idea. Do something completely different outside the box, because we're such habitual beings, which is good. It allows us to get freed up energy so that we have to remember and have everything be new all the time. But we are habitual and we tend to get in ruts. So doing a pattern interrupt is really important. So today I invite you to do something you've never done before today. I don't know what that is. And if you don't know, you can't think about whatever, call up a couple friends and say, play a game with me. What can we do today that we've never done before? And maybe they'll brainstorm with you and think of something fun. Play around with it, okay? So if you've enjoyed this talk today, if you are interested in understanding and really truly embodying abundance, we have to have the people around us live in abundance as well. So please share this with somebody that you feel would benefit from opening up their mind to abundance. You can give us a great review on iTunes or Google Play or iHeartRadio. And you can also find me at erinfalhaskell.com. And you can get my free app that has 30 guided meditations, has interviews, and has the daily podcast on it. You can find it at drerin.tv. It's free, and you can also find it, of course, on iTunes, Google Play as well, all those places. So you can find me across the board on social media as Dr. Erin, and I'd love to connect you guys because it's all about building a tribe, about building our community. Please let me know how I can get involved, how I can serve, and what's going on event-wise in the consciousness world, because this is all about spirituality, consciousness, and evolving. I really truly believe that just as much as there's kind of hell and insanity going on in the world, there's a lot of innovation, a lot of heaven, a lot of miracles happening. So I know this for sure, that today, the truth as every day is that you are abundant. So may you live this truth.